It's Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys being here. Wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Appreciate you guys. And we lead off today's show talking about a big commitment that happened on Monday night. No Williamson commits to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Give a roll tide inside the comment box if you were excited about Williamson committing to Alabama. All right. This was big. This was really impactful because it happened at the start of the transfer portal. It happened to a position that Alabama clearly needed to upgrade, right? And, man, you get No Williamson. So who is he? What is he? What does he bring to the table? Let's open it with that. 7 foot, 250 pounds. He's a center. Averaged 17 points per game last year at Bucknell. Trivia, what's Bucknell's mascot? Does anybody know? So, look, when I look to Alabama basketball, and look, I love Alabama basketball. I know it's Alabama football on YouTube. But I love the basketball team. I like Nate Oates. I like the team. I know it didn't end the way that we wanted, 10, whatever. I'm happy about where the program is. It's good to talk some basketball. All right. So you need a big man inside the paint. And the thing that I continue to see with Alabama basketball, we've had some good bigs, right? I think Cliff Amore is probably the best big that they've had. You could either probably pick him or Bediako. I don't know who is better. I would say Amore, I think, the way that he played in the rounds 1 and rounds 2. You need to continue to elevate, and you have to have a guy who's going to be elite if you really want to win the whole thing, plain and simple. I don't know if this guy is going to be elite. I hope he is. He looks damn good. I mean, 17 points and, big get for Coach Nate Oates. I know there's some other transfer portal targets that they're working on. You're going to have some guys exit the program. A lot of guys that are just leaving quite simply because of graduation. But to start off the transfer portal with Noah Williamson, I think that says a lot about Alabama basketball, the culture here, the reach. Let me give some good morning shout-outs. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Today's April 1st. I always start out my, monthly shows. Wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Does anybody know where that comes from? Jarvis simply says, how come? Let's see if we can get this up on the screen. Ooh, I need my chat box up in here. Let's see if we can get that. Jarvis says, welcome, Big Noah. He says, finally got some real size. Yeah, 7 foot, 250 pounds. Bama boy coming to us from Somerville. King Family Reacts. What's up, man? I appreciate you, bro. I got the black on today. I don't know, All right, someone's got me with the Bone Thugs. It's Jarvis, of course, man. Touch that. What's up, man? Yeah, the first of the month, man. Wake up. That's what I was making breakfast with the kids this morning. I was hitting a little first of the month. Man, that song is now, it's got to be, 30-some years old? That's wild. Touch that says he was good for rebounds. I pray he can shoot free throws because he's going to get fouled a lot. 100%. Nicole, what's up? Good morning to you. She says, Oates definitely recruiting and got a big man. DJ, what's up, man? My boy says, let's give a thumbs up. Hell yeah, I appreciate it, man. And Sean, my boy, says, Florida has like 3 of these guys on their roster. Yep. Florida ain't messing around. That is going to be, I don't know if they're going to win the whole thing or not. I feel that it's going to be Duke just because we recently saw them, but I don't know. Marcus, what's up, man? Good morning to you. Appreciate you being here, bro. Yeah, wake up, wake up. First of the month. Joe Crooms, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Today's a call-in show, so let me get through my segment. I have some footage that I'm going to go through. If you guys saw my video last night, I talked a lot about the footage, and we had a lot of photos come through yesterday. So I'm going to go through the footage real quick, go through the photos. We can point some stuff out that we might not have hit on yesterday, and then I'll take you guys' calls. And if you want to talk basketball, if you want to talk some football, all for it. You want to talk life, here for it, so let's do it right. Bo, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. So the thing about it is the reason everybody is so – I think guards are kind of a dime a dozen. I mean, if you can get a 6'7" guard that can really translate to being like the impact player, yeah, that excites me. But I think like a big man, we all can agree probably inside the comment box that is someone coming to us from Japan? Jermaine Baker's? Where are you at in Japan? Are you in North Japan or South Japan? I love Japan. I would like to go to Japan specifically because I had a roommate when I lived in Washington, D.C., who was from Japan. I've told this story before. He was from Nagasaki. His name is Nobutaka Ito. And he was basically working from home before you could work from home. The greatest dude, man. He used to come home. This is, back when we were finishing up college. And, you're in Okinawa. That's what's up, man. I appreciate it. Military. Appreciate your service, if so. And it's always military appreciation here. So, look, we understand freedom isn't free. So thank you so much to everybody out there that is serving this great country. But he used to come home every single day, I promise you, from he would come home, he would crack open a Budweiser, and he would go over every single hour of the day mentally. Love that mindset. I've never been to Japan. Looks like we have a couple people that have been to, Tokyo. Wow. And you got to hit that sushi, right? All right. So anyways, big pickup for Alabama yesterday, and really excited about the continued future for Alabama going forward. Nate Oates, I think there was some rumors swindling around yesterday that, Maryland was interested in him, whatever. He quickly flushed those out. He's not going anywhere. Period. We got a new subscriber. Chris, what's up, man? Thanks for being on the show. So let me do a quick transition here, and then we'll go through some footage that the University of Alabama sent out yesterday to the media and people who cover the football team. I think, there's a couple things that I'd like to point out. And if you caught my video yesterday, you might have seen some of this stuff already, but I think it's worth going through. So I quickly want to start where I started out the video yesterday, and it goes with the photos. And then I want to address something, too, because I was reading the comments. It's always, I read the comments, all right? So if you want to message me, the comments is a good place to find me. Let me find that photo of Keelan Russell. I thought I was around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Doesn't Keelan Russell just look bigger? Right? He looks bigger. Can we all agree on that? Yes, thumbs up. Or just type Y inside the comment box if you think that Keelan Russell looks bigger. He looks bigger. Hey, Burns, what's up, man? We see you coming into us from Taylor, Michigan. That's what's up, right? He looks bigger to me, okay? I've said this a bunch of times. And I talk about each of the quarterbacks, and there's there's some weird narrative from a few people out there that feel like it's, I think it's because the channel has so many subscribers. I don't know. There's a set that feel that I don't like Ty. There's a set that I don't like Keelan. I don't think that anyone said that I don't like Austin or whatever. Dude, I want the best quarterback to play, period. And the way that we've always repped on this channel is when the news comes in, we talk about it and we highlight those players that are doing well. And if we highlight Ty Simpson, that's because he's earned that notoriety. Same thing with Keelan Russell, same thing with Austin Mack or any other position that we're talking about regarding Alabama football. So, I don't have no driving narrative. I have zero pull in who plays for Alabama football. That is the responsibility of Coach Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb, plain and simple, right? So, if you think there's some narrative that I'm trying to have somebody play or whatever, I don't. I feel that the best player should play. And after watching last year, I have the same question that you have, right? Will Kalen DeBoer play the best quarterback for the job? Will he play the best running back for the job? And the reason that we can question him is because there's a lot of people out there that saw the same thing that I did and was he just kept Jalen Milroe in. And what happened is people started to question, unfortunately, Ty Simpson and his overall ability. Right? So, I don't know. It has to be the best player. Just like it has to be the best person for everybody, every job. Every single thing in life has to be the best person, in my opinion. That's just how I roll. All right, so let's go over some footage. I'll pause it. I'll stop it. And if you saw some of this from yesterday, I had a video that went out. Check it out. If not, let's cruise through it together. More Alabama football, the better. Number 72, this is Parker Brailsford. Everybody knows who Parker Brailsford is. Think about this. We have a lot of question marks about the Alabama offensive line, and rightfully so, but we don't have a question about the center position, right? I think the center position, you probably have one of the top, if not, think about this, the top center in all of college football coming back. We suffered, not last year, but the year before, at the center position, and you saw how that impacted the overall offense, right? So now, having Parker Brailsford back for a second consecutive season, man, I think in Parker Brailsford, we don't talk about offensive line probably enough. Like, that's just, unfortunately, actually, I do talk about the offensive line, but the big guys need love too. But the thing that I want to say is Parker Brailsford, he's an All-American, and I underestimated him. I didn't realize how good he would be last year. I don't think many people did. I questioned his size, right? I think a lot of people did. The guy was fantastic. Guys commenting about his fro. Yeah. And he seems like a really good dude too. So, Parker Brailsford coming back, just monumental for the Alabama Crimson Tide in terms of a leadership. Right here to the right, this is Geno Vandermark. He's working at the right guard position. I think right now for Alabama's offensive line, and Coach Kalen DeBoer has said this before, is they're limited in a lot of different positions. So, meaning you're going to see different guys within the offensive line. We will not know a first-team offensive line, I don't think, even after whatever this Frankenstein A-Day practices. I think there's just too many guys out. Like, Caden Proctor's out. I think there's still some position battles between Geno Vandermark, Cam Dewberry. Will Conformby will 100% be the right tackle. We do know that. And I think he'll have to work to retain that. But we haven't heard anything negative about Will Conformby, right? It all continues to be positive with the right tackle. Here, he is 75. Number 11, he doesn't get lost in the shuffle. We talk about him often, but this is Rico Scott. Rico Scott, getting some high-level praise recently. I think it was Malachi Moore who gave him some love at the NFL Combine. That was number 7. That is Cole Adams. Cole Adams, Rico Scott, these are the type of guys that are going to contribute in some fashion, along with a Jalen Hell, a Jalen Mbakwe, right? Like, I think they're just going to have to figure out how to utilize those wide receivers, and it's going to be hard to keep the main dogs off the field. Those guys are going to absolutely eat. I mean, Isaiah Horton is going to cook. Ryan Williams, he already looks bigger. I can't even imagine what year 2 Ryan Williams is like. And then Jeremy Bernard, he's been slicing up people at practice. So you have that strong nucleus coming back at the wide receiver unit. Number 36 right here, this is QB Reese. People out in the Birmingham area know about him. He's a second-year player, getting a lot of reps at the inside linebacker position because some players are limited. So good to see him out there doing his thing. The linebacker right next to him, number 30, that was Caden Jones. Don't lose sight of him. And then Abdul Sanders, I think it was Charlie Potter who was reporting that Abdul Sanders had a really good scrimmage showing. So you continue to see the class of 2025, a lot of names being highlighted at this point in time. A lot of guys who got here as early enrollees already show. I don't know how many will be starters, but I think the class of 2025 is what it was cracked out to be. And you can rank the class of 2025 in terms of like it was a top 3 class, but how did those guys translate over the next couple of years? Well, initially in practice, they're already performing very well. Steven, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for joining us. This will be a call-in show. Let me run through a couple highlights and stuff, and then I'll take your calls here in just a little bit. I want to run through some footage and some photos that the University of Alabama sent out yesterday. Number 26 right here, that is Luke Metz, again, right next to Caden Jones. It's the inside linebackers getting some work in. Luke Metz is a very talented prospect out of Georgia. Number 42 right there, that's Yanzi Pierre. I haven't heard too much about Yanzi Pierre, and if we don't talk about players, that doesn't mean they're performing well. I talk to some people. Sometimes players just aren't highlighted. That doesn't mean they're here, they're there. It just means that don't really have an update on him, but I've never heard anything negative about Yanzi Pierre. It's just right now that wolf position, you have Jameer and Latham. You have Quay Rusaw. You have, Yanzi Pierre's probably after that. You have Justin Hill. You have Noah Carter, Cavante Henry. I talk about an absolutely stacked position. Justin Hill right here, another freshman out of that class of 2025 getting in some work. So, see something, anything on Keeley? Not necessarily. Just heard that he's making strides. Just the same, mundane kind of updates that we've seen on Keeley. I think that, Coach Kane Womack has said some positive things about him. You have, once again, the Wolf position is loaded, and so is the Bandit, right? And I think underneath LT Overton at that Bandit position, who's going to be number 2? I think there's a really good position battle. You know what I haven't heard anything on? Have you guys heard anything on Kelby Collins? Kelby Collins is the transfer from Florida, and then you have Keon Keeley and Jordan Rodad. Those are the 3 guys, I think, battling for that number 2 spot at Bandit. I mean, good problem to have. So nothing really big on Keeley just yet, but those are things that we continue to track out, and if anything pops out, we talk about them. Ja Latham right here, number 20. Remember, he came back. He could have left. He came back. So a lot of experience at that Wolf position. Number 2 right here is Xavier Brown. Look, Xavier Brown will be a starter here at the University of Alabama once again. I do feel that there's some competition with Dejon Lee at that position. But the thing that Xavier Brown has against Dejon Lee is plain and simple experience. It's not a problem to have 2 elite corners, and then you add on a healthy Damani Jackson. Those are good things that you have. This season is going to be just like every other season. It's a gauntlet. You need guys to be able to step up. You're only one play away from being the guy. There's nothing wrong with being number 2 on this team, right? It's just kind of you have to wait your turn. But Xavier Brown, I think, is a fine corner. I mean, think about this. Xavier Brown right here has to go up against Jermaine Burton and Isaiah Horton every single day. Think about that. 2 of the best wide receivers coming back in college football. Number 9 right here, this is Cam Calhoun. We continue to hear good things about him. He's a transfer from Utah. Just super athletic players at the Husky position. And you have Red Morgan here. Red Morgan, I think, he looked great right there. All these guys are going to look good in these small little sample size clips, but I think when you look to that Husky position, I think that's probably, would you say that that's the biggest, outside of the quarterback competition, would you say that the Husky position is where we have the biggest competition for like a true starter? I think all the other positions, to be honest, are probably solidified if we had to say so. I mean, really, I think there's still going to be battles here and there, but I'm trying to think, like, there's a couple battles on the offensive line. Inside linebackers set when Deontay Lawson comes back and Justin Jefferson is healthy. Wolf will be, we know who that is. You know who the DTs will be. Corners, we know who the corners will be. I just probably questions at right now the Husky position, right? It seems that way. Footage coming up with the running backs. I think that's a walk-on running back here. One thing that I want you to notice in this next clip right here. So this is Richard Young, okay? Richard Young, I felt, and you know, I've been a huge Richard Young fan. Who isn't, right? Big, imposing style running back. Had a really good showing last year against Missouri. Didn't have a lot of opportunities last year, but he's a bigger back. We're excited for it. I did feel it. I questioned if he had kind of some shiftiness, some speed, right? Look, his feet right here look fantastic. Just watch this clip right here. Cha 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 cha, right? He has kind of like something extra. That's something that you continue to get as you move forward. Ty's asking about Lazier. So Lazier is a wide receiver here. He's a freshman, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how Grubb utilizes him. He will play as a freshman. He had a really good showing. I think he had a catch or maybe a couple catches during the scrimmage. He's tough to handle. I mean, they refer to him as kind of an acrobat type player. So, yeah, Lazier Brooks will play. You know, he's not like a first, second, you know, I don't know where he's going to be. We know who the main wide receivers are, but I think after that, it gets a little bit interesting. Steven says, this year we're going to have a 1-2 punch. We thought we would have last year. Yeah. I thought last year we would have a 1-2 punch with Jam and Justice Haynes, but it really wasn't that. Yeah. Joe Kroons is saying that Richard Young reminds him of Scarborough. I could see that. Yeah. Did someone ask about the hat? I think I saw a comment go through. The hat is from Chris Mobley here in Tuscaloosa. I have a white one that I sometimes wear, and then the black. I have the black one that I wear on black uniform days. JTL's asking. JTL's an LSU fan. He's asking about Jalen Mbakwe. So Jalen Mbakwe played defensive back last year. He switched to wide receiver recently. He's in kind of that fold of those wide receivers. He's kind of in that 2 or 3 deep right now. But the thing about Jalen Mbakwe is he's so dynamic. I think if you talk to Alabama football fans, we don't know how he'll be used as a wide receiver. But I think he could probably be utilized specifically on special teams like kick returner, punt returner. I mean, just like LSU, there's a lot of athletes that are going to be hard to keep off the field. Right now, Jalen Mbakwe is one of those guys that it might take him a little bit longer to get on the field, but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, look where you're at. You're in the SEC. This is Jam Miller right here. Number 26 looks good. Number 9, once again, that is Richard Young. Love that 1-2 combo. The third running back in rotation, this is Daniel Hill, second-year running back here at the University of Alabama. Number 20 is Draylon Washington, who's a transfer from he's a Raging Cajun. And then number 28, that is Kevin Riley right here out of Tuscaloosa County High School. And number 0, that is A.K. Deere, who was the number 1 rated back in Mississippi. So that's some footage that the University of Alabama sent out. There's a couple more running back clips. I'm going to roll through a couple photos, too, that stand out to me, and then I'll take your calls. Appreciate you guys rocking with me this morning. Here's Ty Simpson. Really great shot of him. Alabama will hold its second scrimmage of the spring season this Friday. They had a practice yesterday. They're off today, off on Thursday, and then they will practice again on Wednesday, and then a scrimmage on Friday. So you get three practices this week and a scrimmage on Friday. What we want to continue to see from Ty, just like all the other quarterbacks, right, is continued progress, not only like passing and understanding the schematics of Ryan Grubb's offense, but how do these guys, who is able to command the offense at the highest level, right? And it looked like from the last scrimmage that it was Ty Simpson. Pretty sure he had 3 touchdown passes on the day, which is good to see. Somebody pointed out yesterday, I guess it was on the show yesterday, that him and Isaiah Horton might have some history from being in camps together when they were younger, like in high school. I got to thinking about it because aren't they both from the Tennessee? Like, I know Ty is, but I think Isaiah Horton is from Tennessee as well. It makes sense. I don't know if that's true, but I was like, that made me think. So you have Ty Simpson, good photo of him. Let's see what else we got. Another photo of him. People forget Ty can run too. Yeah, I think he's had some really nice runs during A-Day. I think he's ran for a couple touchdowns in A-Day. This photo right here, I would imagine this probably looks like maybe some sort of a first team. Yeah, Max is saying they're both from Tennessee. That's what I thought. So you have Ty right here. You have Jam Miller, the running back. And then this is interesting. This looks like the tackle to me. So maybe in for a limited Caden Proctor and just giving him reps would be, this is Olas Allen, number 73. Just getting in some reps. There's a lot of inside offensive linemen that have gotten reps at tackle this year. Like Casey Poe, I think he's an interior offensive lineman. He's been getting reps at guard this year. All right, let's see what else we got. This is Rico Scott. Rico's been in the gym. Look at this. It's a really dynamic wide receiver for sure, Rico Scott. Here's your 3 quarterbacks. This is the footage. This is the photo, rather, that I wanted to go with you full screen. Yo, look how big Austin Mack is. Yeah, I mean, if we were to draw a line right across where my cursor is, like, this is a big man right here. Here's Nick Sheridan right here. And this is, it looks like he's almost in a Seahawks. People are going to get mad if he don't start wearing, like, he needs to wear this to look, people love Ryan Grubb because he's here, but they probably want to see him in something like this. Remember, we made a big deal last year about what the coaches were wearing. I remember. It was like, why won't they put on like crimson and white? I don't know. But there's Ryan Grubb back there and Nick Sheridan working with the quarterbacks. Keelan Russell. Another thing that stood out to me about this photo was it looks like Keelan Russell, like, remember we're noticing his legs look bigger? Like his thighs look bigger. I don't know. Things stand out. I point them out. But, I mean, if you go from Ty to Austin Mack, and it looks like Ty's, just hunched over just a tiny bit. I mean, Austin Mack is gigantic. Anyways, thought it was a good photo. These are all courtesy of the University of Alabama. We talked about this photo of Keelan Russell earlier in the show. Geno Vandermark right here to the right, getting some work in with the offensive line. This is number 36. That would be QB Reese. Number 22, LT Overton. He's coming back, right? I guess I didn't realize, like, two of the guys, and this is why I'm excited about Coach Kalen DeBoer, what he's done in the transfer portal, because the guys that he brought in, right? Who was like, most of his transfers, he had a high hit rate in terms of guys who were productive. Parker Brailsford, Jeremy Bernard, LT Overton, right? Graham Nicholson. I mean, I don't think he was as good as Will Reichert in any shape or form. I really don't. I'm still kind of mad that he beat out Will Reichert for the Lou Groza Award the year prior. He was good, but I didn't think he was like elite. This guy is elite. Yo, Zay Mincy. I think Zay Mincy's got to be like 6'2", and he can play corner. He can play safety. He had a hell of a game against Michigan in the Citrus Bowl. I would probably say he's going to push Kean Sabb or Bray Hubbard. He'll be right there at that safety position. Zay Mincy's good. He's a good player, and I'm sure he's getting a lot of opportunities right now, being that Keon Sabb is somewhat limited. This is your running back. This is Jam Miller. Austin Mack. Ja Latham. Caden Jones, number 30. See Jeremy Bernard catching passes against everybody. Daniel Hill, running back. Let me ask you something about 6'3". Is Zay 6'3"? Yeah, Zay's a big dude. How many yards do you think Jalen Hill hauls in this year? Should we set it at like 300 yards? Do you think that Jalen Hill catches 300 yards this year? Catches for 300. I don't know. I guess I go over. The first season that he played, he caught for what? Just under 200. I think he catches for over 300. Yeah. I'll take it. I'll take the over. I'd take maybe 450 to, damn, Prod inside the comment box is saying 900, over 900. That would put him in like the first three wide receivers. I think the fourth or fifth wide receiver probably still catches for between, 400 and 500 yards. Kalen's saying 400. Yeah, Larry Large points out that he had 29.6 yards per catch. Man, nice stat. Love it. John Shannon, who's a fan funder, says it depends on how well his knee is. Yeah, and he still does have a brace. And that's kind of one of the things that I've been looking at, too, is you can see the brace right here is what percentage is he? Right? Is he 100%? If it's 100% Jalen Hill, I mean, I'm definitely taking no over 300. They're not going to play him if he's like 70%. But look, I mean, here he is. This is the other thing too, is nobody wears knee pads anymore. Does anybody remember? See, kids, they don't remember how it was. Does anybody remember playing football and your pads, you had to like keep track of your pads? You had 2 knee pads, you had your thigh pads, you had your hip pads, you had your tailbone pad. Do you remember this? And they were like, they came out of your pants. And then you had to put your belt and you kind of had to loop it through on your hip pads. And your pads were like, they were like thick. You could barely run. Yeah, your shoulder pads were huge. Shoulder pads now, I mean, you know, I have a son in high school, so that stuff is expensive. All the and the pads, you had to keep track. So like, you know, doing your laundry, if you did your laundry in high school, or if you had a wonderful mother, grandma, your dad did your laundry for you, bless you. But you had to keep track of that stuff. It was the worst when you were about to like go out to practice and you couldn't find like a hip pad or something. You remember this? see, Matt Dunn inside the comment box knows what I'm talking about. See, I got held out of a game because my pants were shorter. Yes, see, 100%. I wouldn't dare not play with knee pads back in my day. I know, and now, I seriously, like even for games, just notice nobody will like this will be common right here. The pads were terrible. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was a whole thing, man. All right, so you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the big neck braces. You would have the neck brace. I wasn't like a linebacker, so I didn't have that. Bailey has it like this. Bernard 700, Horton 650, Rico Scott 600, Jalen Hell 550, Ryan Williams. Man, I don't know. I think that I would probably say Ryan Williams catches for probably 1,200 yards. I would say you have Jeremy Bernard or Isaiah Horton, who isn't too far behind, with another 1,000 yards. The third wide receiver will have over 800 yards, and then I think you can kind of go down from there. Yeah, no one really wore I don't remember the forearm pads. What's up, Casey? Still referring to basketball. Nate Oates needs to get some tall players, offense and defense. Well, I mean, yesterday, the Noah Williamson, we talked about that earlier, 7 foot, 250. That's a good start, right? Okay, I'm going to open up the call line. Call in. It's your show. I appreciate you guys, joining on the show. I'll take your calls as they come in. Keep in mind when you call in that somebody's calling behind you probably, so make your point. We have some interaction, and then, I'll bump you out if it gets a little bit lengthy, but just be respectful of people calling in the show. If you want to support the call-in show, you want to support the channel overall, Venmo, Cash App, I appreciate it. It goes back to the phone lines, other expenses, clearly, with running the YouTube channel. Super Chat, you guys can become fan funders. You guys being here is great, so I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. All right, let's see who's on. We got a 256. Let's see. We'll take it right now. Hey, you're on the line. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling from?
This is Daryl from Huntsville.
I thought it was you, Coach. What's up, man? I appreciate you being here, Coach. We got Coach Daryl calling in from Huntsville. What's up, Coach? I appreciate you being on the show, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to be on the show. Glad that you're still tearing it apart like you always are. And hope bigger things are coming. I always said it because I knew it's true.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about Alabama basketball.
Okay.
Nate Oates right now is the crown prince of Alabama basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand that. But I'm never going to agree with his philosophy. I don't believe in his philosophy. And it showed up in the Duke game.
Mm-hmm.
His philosophy is we shoot, we dunk, layups or three, no mid-range.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as I can remember watching basketball, every coach I ever saw, from John Wooden to Bobby Knight to Dean Smith, everybody always preached the same philosophy. If we can get that 10 to 15 footer, we'll be good, because we got guys that can knock that down, and we'll make a high rate of those, and we'll win the game. And Alabama was 8 for 32.
Yeah.
Why are you not making an adjustment and say, hey, you know what? We're gonna drive. We can kick out if you're open. But if we get in the philosophy of just only threes, then we're passing up shots 10, 12 feet that we know we can make. What was Mark Seals' first shot that he made? Was a 10-footer.
And when he made that shot, it was like they made like a big deal about it because he doesn't have mid-range shots. They were like, "Oh my goodness, he took a mid-range jumper."
Right. And I understand. We went to the Elite Eight 2 times. Went to the Final Four last year. All that's great. But unless you get some knockdown shooting, unless you find some Stephen Currys and Klay Thompsons, you're gonna always be in the same position, because see, those are generational shooters.
Yeah.
Are there still some out there? Probably. But Duke only took 6 3-pointers. I think 12 3-pointers, something like that. They made 6 of them. So we're getting beat by guys that are posting up, taking us to the hole, and they're making the mid-range, but we're not shooting the mid-range at all. And I don't care what you say. I played basketball. I played every sport it is. I played basketball. I know this for a fact. The further you shoot out, the lower your percentage is going to be.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of the game. So unless you got and he was a great shooter for Alabama, Brandon Miller. Unless you got about 2 or 3 Brandon Millers, you got to be realistic. Hey, guys, the rest of you guys are not 3-point shooters, and you're good 10, 12, 15-foot shooters. That's what we're going to do. We're going to free you and let you go. Because sometimes, and that's exactly what you have to do. And then let me say this also. I know I'm going to make some people mad. I would love to see Alabama play Duke on a level field, because Duke's gonna get all the calls, and they got all the calls. They were hand checking, that wasn't called. They were pushing off with the forearm to get shots, that wasn't called. And as soon as Sears does it, they call a foul. So you can, people say, "Oh, you're just being unrealistic." Look at the games. And watch, and you watch that game again, and you tell me what you see. You see a lot of holding. You see a lot of illegal screens. They never were called once for an illegal screen. When the guy just starts moving and you move, he just moves and knocks you down. They never once were called. So I would like to saw a level playing field. And at the end of the day, I applaud Nate Oates for what he's done for Alabama basketball, and maybe we can get to the point where we can have some clarity and say, hey, nothing wrong with shooting a 10-foot wide open jump shot. Not a thing wrong with it at all. Because see, there were 2 coaches, and I'm gonna say this, and people may not understand. There were 2 coaches that freed the black athlete in basketball. There was Denny Crum and Jerry Tarkanian. And what Denny Crum and Jerry Tarkanian did, whatever your game was, they let you play it. Oh, if you want to run in there and run over 2 or 3 people, get me 4 or 5 offensive rebounds. I'll take it. If you foul out in 5 minutes, so we got 3 more just like you. They let the athlete play to their strength. And sometimes these coaches they want to call plays. He called such a great play call. Let the athlete play to his strength.
Yeah.
And that's the same way a referee should do. He should let play. Okay, if you got a guy that drives to the hoop, and you know he's driving to the hoop, that's his strength. Why would you call a foul when you know the guy can't stick him? Why would you call a touch foul on the outside instead of letting him go to the hoop and probably go to the free throw line? You coach to the strength, you play to the strength, and you call to the strength as a referee. That's what I believe in. May not be for everybody, but that's what I believe in. I'm going to get off the phone and let you talk, Kyle.
All right. Appreciate it, Coach. Thanks for calling in, man.
All right.
Yeah, that was the one thing about Alabama basketball. Coach Darrow from Huntsville always bringing it, always has great points talking Alabama basketball there. Bringing up the fact that he'd like to see more mid-range jumpers, and that's not part of Nate Oates' philosophy. And it kind of does seem the case, right? It seems like the outside shots are what Nate Oates kind of lives and dies by. And he's had shooters in the past. He had shooters this past year, but when it's not on, you run into problems. Or when you play a team that's athletic enough like Duke and you just have no open shots, you run into big problems. I think that you need an absolutely dominating presence underneath the basket. Like somebody like Duke's guy was perfect. He was 7'2", but the great thing about him is he could get back on defense, right? Alabama picked up a great prospect yesterday, what looks like from Bucknell, and Noah Williamson, 7 foot, 250 pounds, averaging 17 points per game. We'll see how he does this coming year. We go to the 317. Hey, what's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, what's up, Kyle? It's Marcus from St. Pete, man.
Marcus, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here, bro. Roll Tide to you, man, and happy first of the month. Dude. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to make this short because I got some errands to run, but the first thing I wanted to say, man, is I feel as if some of us Alabama fans are super spoiled because as the previous caller just had, he made some solid points, but how do you not believe in the coach who literally got Alabama back to the Elite Eight back-to-back years? Like, what was the relevance of Alabama basketball prior to Coach Oates? There wasn't any. No one really cared. He went back-to-back, and Alabama's only been 3 times, and he's responsible for 2 of them. So maybe you don't believe in his philosophy, but probably you should believe in the coach. I mean, that's a vast improvement from where Alabama was to where they are now.
Yeah.
The second thing I'd say is I think it was yesterday or the day before you said which Alabama team would somebody pick between 2024 and 2025.
Yeah.
And as much as many people were saying 2025, until I see this product on the field and it's the end of that season, I got to take the 2024 team.
Mm-hmm.
And the main reason why is because Jalen Milroe was a difference maker. The same people who cursed him out and critiqued him were the same people who loved him when he torched LSU on the ground for 4 touchdowns. 2 years back-to-back. He's the same reason why Alabama won against Georgia. So until I see this team, and maybe, the 2025 team comes out and they're better and more explosive and aggressive and everything that we hoped and dreamed for, then I'll take it back and then say y'all were right. But I just think the 2024 team, despite losing the GOAT, losing your OC, losing your DC, losing 30-plus guys to transfer portal in the draft, they still went out and performed as best as they probably could. 9-4 is probably the best Alabama could once you lose so much production like that. And Milroe was a difference maker on the ground. Hate him or love him, but whether he ran a 4.37 or 4.40, that guy is lightning in a bottle. And teams, when even the slightest mistake teams would make by either being too far on the outside or they got too far in, Milroe had the vision enough to see where to cut and where to turn on the afterburners. And that guy was just a difference maker. So until I see the 2025, 2026 team actually go out and compete and prove to be better than this past season's team, I got to take Milroe. I mean, don't get me wrong, the criticism he receives, I agree with, but at the same time, he had a new offensive coordinator, and the guy had multiple offensive coordinators throughout his college career. One of them didn't even want him, and he still prevailed. He still found a way to win. I mean, people forget the whole Texas A&M drama with Jimbo Fisher and Coach Saban, and Milroe went out and won that game. It wasn't pretty, but he still won the game. So I got to take the 2024 team. I hope everybody has a great day. Roll Tide. Thanks for taking my call, Kyle. And undefeated, keep your head up. And anybody want to come down to St. Pete, it's beautiful today.
Hell yeah, man. All right, man. Take it easy, Marcus. All right.
Peace out.
Yep. Marcus with a good call. We went from Huntsville to St. Pete's. I appreciate it, man. We got let's see, we got it coming up. We got a 201, we got a 718 coming up next right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. It's your show, so if you want to call in, chime in with what you want to talk about. Somebody asked inside the comment box, about Noah Williamson, who committed yesterday. The high point is 7 foot, 250 pounds, Patriot League Player of the Year, as Todd points out. Todd, what's up, man? Todd's my boy inside the comment box. 17 points per game. He committed on his visit, here with Nate Oates yesterday. It fulfills a spot left by Cliff Amore, right? So you needed a big man. You brought him in. It was a big get for Alabama. Monumental, really, because I think big men are very challenging to get, especially guys who are that good, that polished. So hoping he comes in and makes an instant impact for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And then getting back to, Nate Oates, I think, maybe the inside jump shots or whatever isn't part of his game, but I think his coaching style and, his competitive spirit, man, I'm all for it. Like, there is no one else for this job other than Nate Oates. And what he's been able to do throughout the last, several seasons has been more than impressive. I wish I had a better adjective to describe it, but absolutely killing it. 201, let's do it. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Adam calling from Georgia. How's it going?
What's up, Adam? I appreciate you joining, man. Good to hear from you, bro. How's was it your mother that was a little bit under the weather, right? Up in New Jersey, right?
Yeah, she broke her leg, and I spent about 3 weeks there helping her out. She's doing better. So
we have a good status update. The mom's doing okay?
Yeah, she's doing okay. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Thoughts and prayers out to your mom out in New Jersey, man. Go ahead, man. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. So I have just one kind of comment that I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, but so in Alabama's first scrimmage, by all accounts, Ty had a great scrimmage, all right, through 4 touchdown passes. But I noticed after that first scrimmage when DeBoer did the press conference, he emphasized the 2 misses by Ty, not the 4 touchdowns, and he seemed almost disappointed to say how good Ty did. And it makes me wonder, do you think because they recruited Mac, and Grubb is there, that there's a bias in favor of Mac and that could cloud DeBoer's thinking about who should start?
I don't know, man. I don't think so. But I found it just, his communication style is just completely different because it's so much coach speak. And I get it. It's almost like he has a gun to the side of him because of the transfer portal coming up and he doesn't want to make anyone mad. But there was many, many reports that said Ty Simpson had himself a showing. Why not just come out and say, right, Ty Simpson looked fantastic? The offense, guys are going to hit the transfer portal regardless. The players know. So why not just I found that to be strange, to be honest.
Yeah, I did too. And when I heard him, I was like, he almost seemed like, he said, I guess we're where we're supposed to be, but we did miss 2 plays. And I'm thinking, you know what? This guy wants Mac to start because he loves Mac. They recruited him. I hope that's not the case, but I won't take any more of your time. That's just my thoughts. Thanks, Kyle.
All right, take it easy, man. I thought this, look, you could read into anything. I just felt that was interesting that he didn't point out the specific quarterback because we all knew that he did well in the scrimmage, but who knows? I mean, I don't think that he's upset that Ty did well or anything like that. I think he knows he has to play the best quarterback. He's going to do that. But Michael Roden inside the comment box is like, still got my doubts. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got a 718. Hey, thanks for chiming in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, this is Pete from Pennsylvania.
Pete from Pennsylvania, man. I like the ring to that, bro. Pete from Pennsylvania. Come with it, bro.
Hey, first and foremost, I want to thank you for all that you do.
I appreciate it, bro.
I think you're one of those content creators that really, take the time to give back to the community. And, you kind of like your passion, your heart. I can see every day as I watch you every day that you bring it. So
yeah, I love it.
Good to be part of this. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. Thanks, Pete, man.
All good, brother. I want to touch on 2 things. One on the basketball side and the other on the football side. So firstly, regarding to the basketball side, I know we tend to have recency bias of what we just saw from the tournament perspective, but I would say that Nate Oates is building something, right? And it's never easy when you're in the infancy stages of building a culture, right? We talk about all these things about talent and efficiency, but the first thing is winning, right? So if you want to recruit the talent, the high-end talent, you got to start recruiting some of the pillars. And I feel like the past couple of years, Nate Oates has done a great job of establishing a winner mentality within that culture. So Alabama basketball is now known like in media as, hey, they're really, really good. And even in comparison to Duke, who are the true blue bloods in basketball per se, they have the talent, they have continuity, they have individuals who've been with the program for a long period of time, and the coach for Duke played for I believe one of the best coaches ever, inherits a program with continuity. So all these things are in their favor, but I think Nate Oz is working on something, and just give him some time. It's not easy getting to Elite Eight, right? And he's managed to do that twice in a row against Elite Four last year. So give kudos to that. But I could sense they're building something, and once the talent match the efficacy of what they do, they're gonna raise it up a notch. And I could see the next 5-10 years a couple of championships for the basketball team per se. Secondly, I want to touch on the football side, and like I said before, I am super impressed of what Kevin DeBoer went through the first year. Mm-hmm. Change in any aspect of either business or in sports, it's never easy. Specifically when you have a big, huge of individuals to lead and motivate and, try to incorporate them into a new idea, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. People always push back, hence people leaving, jettison the program to go elsewhere. All these things happen, but I think one thing Kevin DeBoer has shown that he has the competency as a leader to stay calm when the waters are very, very rocky, right? And that's what you want for somebody who's going to lead this team to the next level, right? So I look at it, the offensive philosophy, right? Hey, Milroe was a great talent individual, mm-hmm. right? Great leader. But also we need to understand that we had to compromise the offense to fit his skill sets.
Yep.
That's point blank.
Yeah.
And the more you compromise for one person, it hurts the overall, I guess, the picture of what the offense looked like. Everybody becomes confused. Yeah. The wide receivers, the line. Hey, should we block now? Should we do this? Is he going to run? These things need to be set in place so everybody has the cadences on how to move forward.
Yeah.
I'm not a big football buff. I can't tell you X and O's, mm-hmm. but you can watch symmetry when the line is working how it should be. The quarterback understand the check downs, when to go deep, shallow. These things are based on progressions, right? And that's why I'm excited that Ryan Grubb is here now, because Ty Simpson, all the three quarterbacks that we do have now will learn so much more. And I'm very excited for year two, the leader we have in Kevin DeBoer, based on just how we're able to handle the media frenzy. And like the previous caller said, Alabama, we are spoiled. Right? Nick Saban put us in a place where we felt so much high on winning and having that culture of consistency, but then the boys are going to bring it back. But it's methodical movement, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to get those gains in, and the quarterback play going to improve drastically. And the recruitment level on the wide receiver level is going to go up as well, because they're going to see what we do, and they're going to come. Because once you build it, they're going to come. So I just want to say that and leave it there. And thank you for giving me the time to speak to that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Pete. Thanks for calling in, man. Blessings your way, man, and we'll catch up soon.
Yeah.
All right. That was Pete from Pennsylvania. I like the 2 points that he hit on, to be honest. I mean, like the fact that he's, Oates, like that's the great thing. You're able to get a player like Noah Williamson instantly out of the transfer portal based on the success that you've already had, right? Like he's winning at a very high level. Final Four the year before, this past season, Elite Eight. Yeah, that was a fantastic call, to be honest. And then talking about DeBoer and kind of his overall demeanor, probably, there's not a lot of people that could take that level of criticism coming in following Coach Saban. I mean, every single thing is going to be compared to Coach Saban. That's why you never want to be the guy after the guy. You always want to be the guy after, Coach Kalen DeBoer, right? Because it'd be easy, because then you're always compared to Coach Kalen DeBoer rather than being compared to the greatest college football coach of all time. I mean, it just makes perfect sense. We do have an incoming call. We'll take 973, and that's coming from Chris out in New Jersey. Chris, what's up, my man? How you doing, bro?
Kyle, I'm not too happy with you, buddy.
No?
Just want to let you know.
Okay. What's going on? Am I going to the mattresses?
You're the one. You're lucky I'm not in the mafia, Kyle. I'm telling you, you right now.
You still in waste management?
I watched that. I watched those basketball. First of all, I hate Duke. So, okay. and I watched it for the first game, 25 3-pointers. I was like, this is, we're peaking. This is a problem. And of course, that game, they just were. Duke was a great team. I don't want to hate it. I can't believe I had to just say that. Oh God, it's horrible. But But yeah, it was they were pooped and they were outmatched. So that's that. Not to be discussed again. That's like basketball. Alabama basketball right now to me is Voldemort. Let's move on to something positive. Football.
All right.
So I have a little take on the quarterbacks.
All right.
And I mean, is everybody like their memory? Are they forgetting that our roster got poached? It was sharks in the water when Saban retired. They stole Julian Sayin, probably the number 1 or number 2 quarterback in the country. By the way, Keelan Russell is, in the end, I believe, going to be the number 1 quarterback from that class in the country. Now, remember one thing: everybody's got to chill out. He's from Texas. You know how much money UT, the alumni for UT give? The alumni for Baylor are rich, by the way. The alumni for SMU and A&M. So everybody, I would play it the way DeBoer's playing it right now. Let's get him in the camp where at least we get him for the season, and then you can start naming quarterbacks. I wouldn't want to make anybody mad either. Either way, somebody's going to be mad, right? Mm-hmm. Austin Mack's going to be mad. Keelan, he didn't put on 20 pounds because he. For shits and giggles, pardon my French. Yeah. He put it on because he wants to start in the SEC. So that's my 2 cents. All right, I'm already not mad at you about the basketball already. I've already gotten over it. Yeah, I mean that was tough to take. So anyway, all right, Kyle, that's my 2 cents about the quarterbacks. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for everything you do, and roll Tide, brother.
Hey, Chris, hang on, man. It's only Tuesday, bro. So slow down.
Oh, I took my garbage out the wrong day. All right. We'll talk,
all right,
brother.
man. Take it easy. See ya.
Good.
All right. Chris in New Jersey, already living in on the 2nd. It's April 1st. Wake up. First of the month. All right. 470. Let's do it. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson.
From the inbox.
One more time. Let's do it properly. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Chastain Bailey. I'm the guy that's in the inbox. Just been talking to you for a little while.
All right, man. Chastain, what's up, man? You calling in from Georgia?
Yes, sir. Calling in from Georgia.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Chastain coming in from Georgia. Appreciate you being on the show, man. Welcome on in. Come with it.
Kyle, man, you do a great job with the photos that you bring and a lot of the information, and not trying to stroke your ego, but you've got the best Bama football podcast on YouTube. So let me just say that right there. I appreciate what you do, man, really.
Yeah, thank you so much. I always talk about this is I feel that, this has never really been like a job for me. I feel that, it's right from my heart. I've always, been in this space. I feel really comfortable in this space. And one of the areas that I like most about it is honestly just talking with people. I'm a people person. I have a lot of friends. I hang out in a big guy group, and, I like that kind of interpersonal connection. So anyways, I appreciate it, Chastain, man. But anyways, good to hear from you. I know you're a first-time caller, man, so come with it, man. What's on your mind?
I know we talk a lot about the quarterbacks and whether it's going to be Ty Simpson, Austin Mack, or Keelan Russell. But for me, I'm rooting for Kalen DeBoer to make the right decision because there's no other coach out there right now that we can bring in and have the potential of having a high success rate as soon as we can in regards to this being DeBoer's second season. I know everybody's got their opinion. A lot of people want to see Ty because of, his loyalty to the program. I, for one, am interested in Austin Mack. But I just think that we need to give DeBoer a little bit more support and just take him for what he's bringing to the table. And the second thing that I wanted to point out to you is when I was talking about the yards in the comment box about the receivers.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Jeremy Bernard's route tree. I'm looking at Isaiah Horton's route tree. Ryan Williams being in the slot is going to be an explosive playmaking, play calling potential. So when I think about that and just Rico Scott going down the field, Jalen Hale going down the field, and Cole Adams and Ryan Williams are probably going to share that slot position. So that's what I'm looking at right now.
It's scary to think about the wide receivers, because one of the wide receivers, and I know it wasn't on purpose that you didn't mention him, but think about who else is right behind Cole Adams. It's probably Lazier Brooks, right, at that slot position as well. I think one of the most dangerous things about Alabama's offense this year will be Ryan Williams in the slot. That is going to be deadly. Like, try dealing with Isaiah Horton and Jeremy Bernard. That's going to be a lot to handle. But then you slide in Ryan Williams in year 2. Who knows what he's capable of from the slot? He's got elite speed. His playmaking ability is unmatched, and if you can get the ball to him more times than often, who knows what's going to happen. So yeah, I'm really excited about that, and I do like the point about about DeBoer too. Now that he does have Grubb, I think that he's himself is going to even have more confidence, because that's going to take a lot of pressure off him from the offensive standpoint. I remember last year, Nick Sheridan, that was his first time being an OC in the SEC. He was supposed to be the tight ends coach over here, and all of a sudden this guy's calling the offense. So now that he has Brian Grubb next to him, I think he's going to be a lot more comfortable and a lot more confident. Anything else, man, Chastain, that you have?
Just to reiterate, like, as a Bama fan, a long-time Bama fan, prior to Nick Saban even arriving at Alabama, I just think that Alabama fan base needs to give Kalen DeBoer their full support in regards to whatever decision he makes, because the guy is very, very intelligent. He's very modest in his apparel, and he's very, very vanilla when he speaks to the media, because he doesn't want to give away too much information.
Yep.
So I'd say let's just embrace Kalen DeBoer for the coach that he is, and let's just all be about Alabama football, regardless of who we prefer at the quarterback position or any other position.
Yeah, love it, man. Yeah, good call, Chastain, and I appreciate your support inside the comment box. Definitely call back anytime, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Kyle.
All right, man. Take it easy. Good call. I appreciate the lineup today. Ways to support the show. There's Venmo, there's Cash App. You can just hit the thumbs up. Just watching, it goes a long way. So I appreciate all of you guys being in here inside the comment box. One thing that I will say about Coach Kalen DeBoer, kind of in closing, is it doesn't seem like he has any sort of an ego, right? And I think we can all be thankful about that. I think some of the times he does have coach speak or whatever, like, he doesn't have any sort of ego. And look, he's under every college football coach is under an amount of stress and this and that. And I think he does understand where he's at, and he's trying his best, in year 2. And he has, look, the tracks are laid. So there's, like, coming this year, I think they take a giant step forward. The schedule is going to be hard as hell. We've talked about that in many different ways, but this team is going to be a lot better than I think 2024 once they figure out a couple different components, which isn't a lot. So we'll see how it goes. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. Also on Facebook, Alabama Crimson Tide, YouTube on Facebook. I'll drop the link in the description box following the show inside the comment box. You guys calling in means a great deal to me. Here's the link right here to our Facebook channel. Pretty active Facebook channel, TikTok, all that other stuff. But right here is the news where it comes, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. As news happens, I got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Coming to you from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Kyle Anderson at Bama Football on YouTube signing off. I'll catch up with you guys as news happens or tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. See you guys.